to another Let's Let It Go live session. Let's have a dive into today's daily quote to start with, which will lead us nicely into today's lesson. So yeah, let's dive into the quote quickly. Share my screen with you. So if you can read that quote for us, that would be great. You need it to be a bit bigger. Let's make it a bit bigger. All right, I think you're muted, so you know.
Yeah. The peace of God is first and foremost peace with God. It is the state of affairs in which God, instead of being against us, is for us. No account of God's peace, which does not start here, can do other than mislead.
Yeah, really good quote. So, peace of God is with us, it's for us. God's peace is never against us. So this is a guy called James Packer, English-born Canadian theologian, tells us the peace of God only comes when we can accept that God is for us and not against us. But, maybe let's unpack that, because the meaning might be obscure to you and other people listening potentially. So let's give a more descriptive name to God. So try substituting pure formless awareness of perfect love for the word God and see what that does to your understanding of the quote. Bearing in mind that formless awareness means there is no awareness of any form, i.e. bodies and any material things in the mind when it is in this state. So to help you understand the quote a little bit deeper, on a deeper level, I've made this substitution for you in the quote below. So if you can read that, and just when you're reading it, be aware of how it's different from kind of different insights and experience from the original that arise.
The peace of God is first and foremost peace with pure formless awareness of perfect love. It is the state of affairs in which pure formless awareness of perfect love, instead of being against us, is for us. Any account of the peace of God, which does not start here, can only mislead.
Yeah, so any other thoughts that come from that? Ideas just to read
it. It just sort of goes deeper, I guess. Yeah. I mean, I don't have any...
because you bring in pure formless awareness.
Perfect. Yeah.
Kind of defining where peace comes from. God is not a very good word, in my opinion, for what it's pointing to.
No, it's a bit ambiguous. Yeah.
Well, it's very short. It's loaded with all kinds of false meanings because the word has been associated over hundreds, even thousands of years with certain religious traditions, the way that God has been formulated by them, particularly Christian religion, the Catholic Church, etc. And so we have this preconceived idea of what the word means. But it doesn't actually mean that at all. It's pointing to something much deeper and higher and indefinable. So if you use pure formless awareness of perfect love instead, those words point you more to that awareness, to that indefinable presence, essence. Again, all the words just point you to something which really is beyond words. But ideally, the pointers shouldn't distract you. They should point you directly to the truth that they're describing, to the actual experience of that which is being pointed to. So hopefully pure formless awareness of perfect love does that better than God, because it's actually talking about the state of awareness that you'll be in. Okay, so this is a pure formless awareness. There is no awareness of form. It's pure. It's awareness. God doesn't tell you any of that. So it's no wonder that people get confused and they go, well, God is some concept in the sky, some super being out there in the sky or in another dimension who has some kind of presence, some kind of identity, which can now judge me and could now potentially harm me and damage me. It's not a good word at all, because it plays into the concept of God as some kind of off-planet God out there apart from us, who has its own identity, who now looks down on us and often looks on us in righteous judgment. Or we pray to God for rewards. We say, well, please God, help me. Well, who's really out there to help you? Actually, it's your own deepest awareness that can help you. But if you think that's outside of you, then you're always going to be looking for the peace of God outside of you, aren't you?
Mm.
And the account of the peace of God, which does not start here, can only mislead. Yeah, indeed. So we want to bear that in mind. If God is only the pure formless awareness of perfect love, how can this loving presence be against you? If it could, it would not be perfect love anymore, but the opposite of love, which Yeshua calls fear in A Course in Miracles. If you fear God, which is your own pure formless awareness, that is also perfect or unconditional love, you're really fearing yourself, which is clearly insane, because you're denying who you really are and believing in an illusion of another limited self that is not you instead. Now these two identities must fight for control of your mind and be in constant conflict with each other, a battle which must constantly disturb your inner peace. So that's the situation of the ego. The fear of God is really just your ego's fear of your higher self that undoes the ego. And yet how easy it is to restore your peace of mind if you simply remember that you are the pure formless awareness of perfect, in other words, unconditional love. And this is what James Packer means when he says you must experience peace with God. When you're in a state of pure formless loving awareness or presence, you must also experience a peaceful state of mind. Put in another way, peace is the natural condition result of knowing who you really are and cannot be experienced unless you do identify with who you are. Stated even more simply as equations, maybe you want to read those.
Accepting pure formless awareness of perfect love equals peace. Denying pure formless awareness of perfect love equals conflict.
Yeah. Really, really simple. Accepting or denying it is going to lead to peace or conflict, depending on what you accept or deny. So the identity or self you accept or deny through your thoughts and emotions in every situation will determine whether you experience peace or not. So it's impossible to overestimate the importance of identifying with your true self. By choosing to experience unconditional love, it will bring pure formless awareness or grace, as Yeshua calls it in the Course, into every situation experience. Right? It's absolutely essential that you do make the shift, you do identify with unconditional love. Otherwise, your interpretation of every situation is going to be distorted. And that's why we practice. So there's a discussion session where we discuss this in some detail. We looked at workbook lesson 183, which is 2 days ago, about the name of God, which is really just the identity. Name of God is the identity of perfect love that is really your own. So again, the original language isn't always that helpful, but well, the name of God is my own true identity, the identity of perfect love that is mine, suddenly it becomes much less out there and much more in here. See, that's what we're always trying to do. To say it's not out there, it's in here. So look within. And the pointers, the words we choose, should point us within to the presence or the awareness within. All right, so definitely worth watching, listening to that. Leads us into our live session where we're at and into today's lesson. So, yeah, let's have a look at that. Got a document here which has the lesson and one of the images. By the way, I'm actually getting these from Kat now.
Oh, good.
Yeah, he came back to me and he just gave me the link to the Dropbox with all of them. So I just downloaded everyone. So
Oh, good. Good.
got all of them on my computer now, which is really helpful and really helpful of him. I mean,
It is. Yeah, no, he's very kind.
yeah, here it is. All is, and this is, it's obviously worked really hard on all this. It's just like, there you go. So use it. Like, well, okay, that's
He's not, yeah, no, he's not any copyright. He's just happy to
well,
share.
that's the right spirit of the course.
Yeah.
It's meant to be used to help and bless people, and I think it does add to these documents. You've got just a little bit of visual, and it's another take on it. It's another look at it. If people are more visual, they can read this, and the diagrams just give a. I remember seeing one diagram, and I thought it was really helpful. The ones where he's got people, and there's the light kind of shining through them.
Oh, yes.
And there was one with person who's angry, and then just seeing the light shining through her, and that really helped me in the situation.
That is yeah, but I've got this little
added a lot to the actual lesson. I was like, okay,
it does.
visualization, because it's exactly what I'm dealing with is really helpful. And remember that light is always there, even though it's obscured by the person's behavior and their demeanor and their language and everything. It's still there, and we got to remember that it's there for you to see if you choose to. It's just obscured, so it can be really, really helpful. Okay, and yeah, so these lessons, I thought this was a useful one, which we kept in there. The Royal Opera Hall of Workbook Lessons. Maybe read this. I thought this was a really nice concept. Idea.
Yeah. So 365 doors, lessons arranged in a circle. Each one is a pathway to total light. Each one contains all the others. The whole structure will fall like walls of Jericho. Jericho,
yeah. Which was
Jericho.
it was a city in the Bible where
Okay.
the Israelites, I think they were trying to conquer the city, and God told them to walk around the city 20 times or something, and then
Okay.
walls would fall.
Okay. And when no door is barred, when everyone is allowed in through every door, i.e., no exceptions are made.
Yeah, so I kind of liked, this whole structure will collapse. So eventually, all the lessons collapse into one total awareness. In other words, you don't need the course anymore. He even says at one point in the course, forget this world, forget this course, and come with holy empty hands unto your God. Yeah. That's the collapse of all concepts, all ideas, all practices, all needing to forgive, all the spiritual practices, all the lessons into this total awareness, which ultimately, will come if you keep practicing and you keep really opening your mind to the truth. Eventually, there are no doors, there are no walls. It's just all of it collapses into one pure awareness, pure formless awareness of perfect love, as we call it, which then becomes the total truth for you. But no, there's a process to it. To open all those doors, to allow the light in is the work. And that's why we have the lessons. And I'm just amazed by this course because I'm still getting so much
Oh, me
value
too.
from each lesson. I'm probably even more so than 10 years ago.
And it's also nice to have other inputs like Kat
Yeah,
and what's his name? Robert Perry's had some good little gems to come in there as well.
yeah, yeah. So, all of
You know,
these
all of
add
you
to
together.
the
Yes.
tools. But in the end, these are tools to give you an experience.
Of
So,
this
so
pure
as
form.
you go deeper into your own mind and into that experience, you go, wow, this is a different experience from what it was before because I'm going deeper into the experience of it, which is why this is called the perennial philosophy. And these lessons are ever fresh because you can do a lesson one year and you can go, well, I didn't really get much experience from that, although intellectually I might have understood it. And then
Yes.
another year you go, actually, I'm really feeling it. I'm feeling what it's pointing to. In
Yeah.
this case, the peace of God. I'm really experiencing that, maybe on a deeper level than I did last year or any other year. So the words haven't changed, but my experience of the words has changed.
Mm.
And so as I go deeper into this and I use this as a path for my awakening, I'm going to have deeper and deeper experiences. So it actually gets better and better as you go on. So like, oh, well, I'm so past this. I've learned all this. I'm moving on to something else. It's like, no, it's just going to get better and better as you deepen your experiential understanding of it. And that's been my experience with it. Particularly this year, I've noticed because I'm doing a more disciplined practice, doing it more often, contemplating it, going, okay, so let's just try and really go into the experience of it in morning and evening, and then also, frequently during the day, I'm stopping, taking breaks, and then just taking a minute or two to remind myself, okay, so this is the lesson. It's more important to go into the experience of it,
Experience,
the
yes,
words.
rather than the concepts.
You don't
Yeah.
have to read, if it's a big lesson, you don't necessarily have to read the whole lesson again. It's just, the beauty of how he's done it is the key idea. I want the peace of God, or in our translation, I choose the peace of perfect love. That is enough to take you into the experience of that peace, if you allow it to, in the moment. And you can stay in that experience for a minute, and that kind of resets you, and then you come out and you carry on with your day, and you're back in the world of perception and doing, but that peace kind of stays with you and carries with you, which is the whole point of doing the workbook lessons frequently, is top yourself up so you can stay in the experience of it. And the more you stay in the experience of it, the less room the ego has to come in and dominate your mind and control your thoughts and your life. So just amazing after nearly 20 years of doing this. It's like, okay, so it's another depth, another level. And that could then go again next year. Okay, what's even another level? And until you've attained, the perfect knowledge, and you don't need the lessons anymore.
Yeah.
But as long as you're human,
You need them.
getting into the world,
Yes. There's always something
your
to
mind
challenge
isn't
you.
good.
Yeah. There's always something to challenge you.
Somebody's coming in and challenging you, then you need the lesson to remind you, okay, I choose the peace of God in the situation. I choose the peace of perfect love in the situation rather than the stress and the drama, fear, anger, and attack thoughts. I choose the peace of perfect love instead. And let me just connect with that peace and experience it for a few moments. And when I experience it, then I'm choosing it. In that moment, I'm choosing this peace. And that peace is then I'm giving it a place in my heart and in my mind. And it's likely to settle there. Once you've chosen it, particularly if it's a difficult situation and you let go of the difficult thoughts and emotion and you come back to the peace, then that's quite a powerful lesson. You've chosen peace instead of conflict.
Yeah.
And then that stays with you. That is, okay, so you're not necessarily thinking about the lesson all the time, but that experience stays with you, at least for the next hour, until you do another practice and you top yourself up again and you restore your connection to the peace. And so you never really go very far away from that peace during the whole day because you keep bringing yourself back to it. That's the idea, which makes so much sense. Well, that's brilliant, really. Why don't we do that? Why weren't we taught that earlier? That yes, you need to just keep topping yourself up, restoring your connection, and the more you stay in that connection with God or your source, the more likely you are to be happy and functional, effective, functional in this world. So why don't we get taught this stuff? Well, because the ego doesn't want us to learn it. That's why. So it's designed a system to obscure this truth rather than bring it to us. Okay, anyway, so that's a nice precursor. Let's read the lesson. So if you can read the kind of key idea, the sandwich idea, really, that sandwiches this review idea, which is in the middle there in the big font.
Yeah, I am not a body, I am free, for I am still as God, perfect love created me.
Yeah, or extends that. Sorry, that word is.
Oh, extends me.
Extends me. Yeah. So if you just read the alternative of that. So for I'm not a body, I'm free. For I'm still as perfect love extends me.
All right.
Or
I am.
You have to read it.
Yeah. I am not a body, I am free, for I am still as perfect love extends me.
As opposed to as God created me. I have an issue with the God. Obviously, is quite a limited pointer. It's not the best pointer to what's being pointed to. But the created, you weren't ever created because it's eternal, right? The created implies that at some point you didn't exist and then you were created and you did. But that's not true, is it? If you're eternal, then you're just extended and you continue to be extended. So extends is the right word. It extends me. It's perfect love or perfect loving awareness. Simply extends me from its source, from its being, and it extends that source or being or awareness into my own mind. And now we have the answer to the great mystery of life. Well, this is how life is continually created and recreated. It's just being extended from this great source that is not dependent on anything. Okay, so that makes sense.
Yes.
It's a really important idea. One of the most important ideas in the whole course and in the workbook. I'd say if you're going to summarize the workbook in 3 sentences, then this could be it. I'm not a body, I'm free, for I'm still as God or perfect love created or extends me, is quite a nice summary of the whole workbook, what its key message is. Would you agree?
Definitely, yes.
Yeah. So, and he actually says, I think in the I'm not a body lesson, he says, well, remind yourself of this every day. Saying this should be part of your daily practice, the idea that you're not a body. Okay, so that is a nice precursor, warm-up, lead-in to the main idea, which is from lesson 195. So if you can read that in both the original and alternative form. I think read it, I want the peace of God, and then read the alternative as I choose the peace of perfect love. So
I want the peace of God. I choose the peace of perfect love. I am not body, I am free, for I am still as perfect love created me.
yeah, I'm still as perfect love extends me. So I choose, I changed I want to I choose. Can you see why I did that?
Yeah.
Because I want implies I'm desiring it, I don't have it, I want it, craving. And one of the things is don't crave for anything. So don't crave for the peace of God, because then you're saying I don't have it. Actually, just choose it. Say, I choose the peace of God or perfect love right now. And in that choice, by choosing it, you activate it, you invite it in. Okay, so I want or I choose the peace of God, the peace of perfect love. And then just read that I'm not a body again, I'm free.
I am not a body, I am free, for I am still as perfect love extends me.
Yeah, can you see how that's related to the key idea? Choose
Yeah.
the peace of God, and I do that by realizing that I'm not a body. If I think I'm a body, I'm going to lose the peace of God. It's inevitable. Because bodies age, bodies get sick, bodies die, bodies can suffer. So if I identify with myself as a body, how can I have the perfect peace of God? All right. So yeah, any other thoughts on the key idea, key lesson, on the sandwich idea? I'm not a body, I'm free, I'm still as God created or extends me. Any ideas, thoughts, comments, questions on that?
Yeah, just simply you need to feel the experience of it rather than just parrot fashion saying it every 5 minutes or whatever, every hour to make sure that it's felt
Yeah,
as opposed to just concepts.
yeah. Ideally, these are pointers to an inner experience, right? So that's what the meditation is designed for. The words point you directly to the experience to which they point, so that you can actually enter that experience, have that experience, and then all of this becomes completely obvious and understandable to you. If you don't have the experience, then
And
it's
it's
not going to
just
happen.
concepts.
Yeah, and we talked about the intellectualization of it, Alan Watts and so on. Just being intellectual and understanding the concepts and talking eruditely about them isn't enough. But okay, can you apply this to your own life and experience it fully, deeply within yourself? Because once you experience it, that's change. You change your mind. And that will change your thoughts, your emotions, your behavior. If you don't really experience it, you can talk till the cows come home, as Alan Watts did, but without the experience, it's a bit pointless. It's just words, just concepts, sound good, but they're not really going to be life-changing because you can't apply them. Okay, so let's have a look at the special blocks. Quite like this. Remove a special block number 5, if you want to read that.
Our lessons now are geared specifically to widen horizons and direct approaches to the special blocks which keep your vision narrow. Make a new choice. Removal of special block 5. Don't know what that means.
Yeah,
5.
because each day, number 5, this is review lesson 5 in the series.
Oh, okay.
So each day he said, okay, so there's another special block which we're going to look at.
Yeah.
Because in the introductions, where it comes from, he's saying our lessons will be directed now towards overcoming the special blocks that occur. Forms of practicing, close our eyes. Where's the special blocks bit? No exceptions made. He should be to release you to the world from every form of bondage. Right, so these forms of bondage, these special blocks, are what we need to release ourselves from. Let's see if there's blocks. Let's see what happens. Nothing. So I think he's actually got the term special blocks from somewhere else in the course. But these are just forms of bondage that enslave us. That's just saying you need to become aware of and free yourself from. And this one is one of them, which is fix that. Attachment to the dreams of the world. I want the peace of God instead. So instead of all these things in the world that I choose to replace the peace of God, I choose instead the peace of God, or peace of pure formless awareness of perfect love, which is completely eternal. And he's saying, widen your horizons by overcoming defenses against the truth. The dreams of the world, which are blocks, they block the light. Interesting, he's got Lego, because Lego makes up this make-believe world. So we live in like a Lego world. The game of make-believe, right? We've got houses and buildings and people, and we see kids making Lego. Oh, isn't that cute? They're making a make-believe world, and it can be, very real for them. Very, ideas to entertain them, and there's no drama in that world unless they want to create the drama. But it's not a real world. None of it's true. It's made up of these blocks that seem to be separate. So you seem to have a character that's a fireman, another one that's a woodcutter or whatever, or a spaceman, and all these scenes that you build, but none of it's really true. It's all just made up, right? We've got essentially all these blocks, the building blocks of Lego are these same plastic blocks, and they make up all of the different characters and things and so on in this world. So it's all actually the same underlying material behind it, and that's really a good analogy to say, well, underlying all of this, it's all the same. Whatever character's been shown, the commonality amongst all of them is they're all made out of Lego, this plastic material, right? So in the same way, we're all made out of the same thing. We share the same source, so we're actually all the same, even though in the Lego world of the ego, we seem to have a different form and a different identity and a different role. Actually, none of that's true. It's all just Lego. And there's only really one awareness behind it all. So they're saying widen horizons by overcoming defenses against the truth. And this experience of freedom and peace. Going beyond words to the truth. That's, as I said, the words are pointers to point you to this, what's symbolized in the image as light, but it's a pure experience. If you go purely into that light, there's only pure awareness there. And you don't really see a light. There was no like, oh, I see a blinding white light, but it felt light. And I've had this experience. It felt very, very, very light, very comforting. There was nothing heavy or dark about it. And that's the light beyond this world. Okay. So yeah, any other thoughts of that? Choosing instead attachment, the peace of God instead of attachment to the dreams of the world. If you want to dream and you carry on dreaming, then you must forsake the peace of God. You won't have the peace of God if you're attached to the dreams of the world. That's the teaching.
Mm.
You know, it's one or the other, but you can't have both, which is where the non-dual teaching comes in. Some teachings will say, yeah, you can have your dreams, and yes, you can still have the peace of God. You know, pursue the dreams in the world, but you know, you can still have this eternal peace. And this is saying, no, you can't. If you are attached to the dreams of the world, then you know that's problematic. You are going to deny your peace. And would you really trade these dreams of the world for this this peace of perfect love, which is the truth? Is that really a good trade? Answer is, you know, logically, obviously no. But in the moment, the ego, you know, often decides that it is a good trade. You'd rather cling on to your special identity and be a separate self and let it all go and become one self and merge yourself with the light. Okay, so I'm not a body, free. I think just read that again, and then we've got a little teaching on it. So I want the peace of God, choose a peace of perfect love. Read that again, and then maybe I'll read the original, you read the alternative. Should we do it that way?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so I want the peace of God.
I choose the peace of perfect love.
Yeah, so the peace of God is everything I want.
The peace of perfect love is the only thing I choose.
No, maybe that should be choose. Change that. Yeah. Peace of God is my one goal, the aim of all my living here, the end I seek, my purpose and my function and my life, while I abide where I am not at home.
The peace of perfect love is my one goal, the aim of all my living here, the end I seek, my purpose, my function, and my life, while I seem to live where I am not at home.
Yeah. So just reflect on those words. What's he saying there?
What's he saying? Well, if we're not in the peace of love, then we're not at home.
Yeah. So a good way of determining whether you're on the right track and going home or far away is your state of peace. It's the barometer. Okay, am I actually peaceful right now? Do I feel calm? Do I feel peaceful? And if you're not, and your mind's interpolated, and all kinds of different thoughts and emotions are going on, you know, the truth is we have to be honest about it. Say, yeah, okay, I'm noticing that. So I'm not in perfect peace now. I'm not deluding myself that I am, but I recognize, you know, that there's a problem, and that I can let it go. And then you can let it go once you recognize the problem for what it is. You can, in truth, let it go, which is the whole point of the lesson, is to let go of what's holding you back from the peace of God or perfect love, what's blocking the peace of perfect God or perfect love. And then reminding you just of the lesson, of the key idea behind all these review lessons, that I'm not a body, I'm free, or I'm still as God created me. And that's an interesting one, because it's saying you are still, you remain as God created you, but it can also be interpreted as I am still, in terms of I'm not moving. I'm just connected to this immovable presence within me we call God. So I'm still as this created me to be, just perfectly still. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Two
Yeah.
interpretations of that. Okay, so just read the I'm not a body, I'm free, for I'm still as perfect love extends me.
I am not a body, I am free, for I am still as perfect love extends me.
Yeah, I'll just kind of let that drop in. How does that feel? Notice that. And that's really what the practice is about. So let's do some practice now in meditation and just try and let these words be pointers that take you into the state of peace they point to. You can actually experience that peace that's beyond words. The words are just a useful tool, a pointer to point you there. But then once you're experiencing the peace, you don't need the words anymore, do you? You can just go into the experience of it.
Yeah.
And just rest in that experience, which is really what all meditation is. It's just resting in this peaceful, sometimes even blissful experience. Okay, so let's drop into that peace, shall we, in a meditation. So, ready for that, Elaine?
Yes.
Okay, so this is a lesson 205. So just making yourself comfortable. Sitting with your feet shoulder width apart, your back straight, cup your hands in the lap. Close your eyes. And start off by taking a nice deep breath in through the nose. So you're breathing in, noticing how the stomach rises and the chest rises. Subtle flow of air in through the nostrils. Pausing at the top of the inhale. Smile. Scan your mind. Remind yourself of the key idea that goes with all of these review lessons. And I'm not a body. Breathe into that. Invite the freedom that brings. Say, I am free of the body, of its limitations. For I am still as God created me, still as perfect love extends me. Still as perfect love extends me. I remain as this perfect loving awareness extends me. And I am still. I don't move. My mind is still and calm and peaceful. So I choose. The original was I want the peace of God. But you don't really want it because right now you choose it. I choose peace of perfect love. Breathe in on that truth. Nice deep inhale breath to stomach. Heart center. If there's anything that isn't supremely peaceful, any minor thought or emotion, and be aware of it and just be willing to let it go. Say, Choose the peace of perfect love instead of this, whatever it may be, anger, attack thoughts, fear, judgment, guilt, and so on. And exhale out through your mouth and just let the breath take you deeper and deeper into this peace of perfect love. Nothing else to go, nothing else to do, nothing else to think about. Just breathe in and out through your nose, observe the breath. And with each breath, yourself to just sink inwards, sinking into this peace of perfect love. It's an awareness within you that's very peaceful, very calming, perfect loving awareness, which automatically brings peace. Sink inwards, go deeper and deeper with each breath, breathing in and out through your nose. So let yourself be carried into this deep peace that awaits you in your own mind. And called many things: God, perfect love, pure formless awareness, ground of being, spirit, soul. Listen to these words. You sink deeper and deeper with each breath into this peace of perfect love, which is the only thing I choose. Peace and perfect love is my one goal. Say this to yourself: the aim of all my living here, the end I seek, my purpose, my function, and my life. While I seem to live where I am not at home. So choose the peace of perfect love, completely wholly over any other thoughts and emotions. And in this peace, realize that you're not a body. I'm not a body. I'm free from still, completely still, quiet, silent, as God created me, or perfect love extends me right here and right now in this moment. So just sink inwards to this peace. Nothing else to do, nowhere else to go. Just breathe, relax, and be still. Sink into the peace of perfect love. Allow it to come in and overwhelm you. The next 2 minutes of deep silence. Now just gently coming back. This deep connected state. Into awareness of the body and the breath, the senses and the world. And on the count of 3, you're going to open your eyes. So 1, just breathing in. Noticing how the stomach rises and the chest rises. Subtle flow of air in through the nostrils. Pause at the top of the inhale, smile. Look at your mind, observe any thoughts and emotions going on there, anything that's not peaceful. Notice that. Remind yourself that I choose the peace of perfect love instead of this. Breathe this peace into every pore, every cell, every muscle of your body, every part of your mind, every fiber of your being. And choose to let it go. Exhale out, blowing this out with breeze of your breath, to the nothingness that it really is. It's going, gone. Allow stomach into the spine. Expel the last remaining air out. And just rest for a few moments in this peace and perfect love. Nowhere else to go, nothing else to do. Count of 2, notice the weight of your body. Pressing down into the chair, your feet touching the ground. Noticing what you're feeling, your hands touching, tasting, smelling. On the count of 3, you're going to open your eyes and just take a moment, look around. Notice how calm and peaceful you feel. It's a very calm, clear, connected state. Anchor that state of peace in. Remind yourself that this state, this peace of perfect love is what you choose. It's the one purpose, the one function of your life. While you live where you're not really at home in this world. And You're not a body. So I'm not a body. I'm free, for I'm still as God created me. Or perfect love extends me. Feel that presence, that loving, peaceful presence. Anchor that state in, and us to stay in that state for the rest of session and your evening. Okay, so that is the lesson done, and a meditation on the lesson done. All right, so it's Elaine, you up for some text?
Yeah, half an hour. And then John can take over.
Yeah, he said he might arrive at 9, so we'll see. Okay, so this one is called The Savior from the Dark. It's section 2 of chapter 25. Share my screen with you. So the alternative title, Savior from the Dark, is The Awakener from Negative Awareness, which is, I think, more practical. Savior means awakener. Dark is negative awareness, so the awakener from negative awareness. So it's isn't actually much to translate. So should you just want to read the alternative, speed it up a bit, because there are, there's 11 paragraphs. No, 11 paragraphs in the summary. Okay, so just read the alternative, Elaine.
Mm-hmm. Is it not evident that what my body's eyes perceive fills me with fear? Perhaps I think I find a hope of satisfaction there. Perhaps I'm trying to attain some peace and satisfaction in the world as I perceive it. Yet it is surely evident that the outcome does not change. Despite my hopes and fantasies, despair always results. And there is no exception to this, nor will there ever be. The only value that the past can hold is that I learn it gave me no rewards that I want to keep. For only in this way will I be willing to let it go and allow it to be gone forever. So it's just saying that if we look in the past and just look at all of the hopes and the fantasies that we've had, and it leads to despair. And the only value the path can hold is that we've learned that there's no rewards that we want to keep.
Yeah, this is the lesson we all must learn eventually. Okay, this world doesn't actually offer us anything. And I have all these hopes, I have fantasies, I have expectations, desires, the endless craving, endless seeking
Yeah.
for something that's going to counter the misery of this world. And he's saying, well, in the end, it all comes to despair. You might have a temporary relief in some fantasy, but in the end, it leads to despair. So what are you going to learn from that? Are you going to learn the truth, or are you going to keep listening to the ego and trusting in hopes and fantasies? And in the end, it all ends in despair.
Mm.
And this, I mean, this isn't an easy lesson. Some people go, "Oh, this is just too full on. It's too hardcore." I don't, because really what they're saying is they don't want to accept the truth
Mm. It's
of the
true,
world.
really.
If you're
It is.
honest, it's true. I mean, like, if you've lived long enough, you start to see, well, in the end, it all comes to nothing. All your
Well,
hopes
yes,
and your fantasies, even if you succeeded at something, you might have achieved a goal and
you got
temporarily,
your, yeah,
oh,
your
now I've arrived,
certificate.
this is great,
Mm.
but it didn't last. That state fades away, it passes, and then, sometimes in an apparent triumph is the seed of failure and despair. I'll give you an example of that. So,
Mm.
that Boris Becker, the
Oh,
Wimbledon,
yes, the tennis player, yes.
yeah, went to prison. You know that.
Vaguely, yeah, I remember he was a bit of a
Yeah.
bad lad, yeah.
So, but I was reading a bit of his autobiography, and he said, it's ironic because if I hadn't become Wimbledon champion at 17, I probably wouldn't have ended up in this situation. I just would have been a normal tennis player. He was ranked in the top 10 in the world, but if you don't win Wimbledon, no one really pays much attention to you.
Mm.
As soon as you win Wimbledon, it's a big deal, right? Suddenly Boris Becker is a star, everyone knows about him. He's only 17. I mean, he's still a kid, right? You're 17, you're
Yeah,
a
yeah,
teenager.
yeah,
You
yeah,
don't
yeah.
really, know very much about anything, do you?
No.
And so, of course, he probably made mistakes. I think he got into the wrong crowd. He got advisors who were advising him. I think he got into a bit of drugs and alcohol. I don't know the full story, but
Yeah, I remember that, yes.
and if he hadn't had that, his life might have actually been, he wouldn't have ended up in prison. Ironically, in a prison 2 miles away from Wimbledon, where he won his titles.
Mm.
30 odd years later, 35 years later, 37 years later, he was in prison after his apparent triumph. And you go, oh wow, he's on top of the world. He's 17. This is amazing. Like what a lucky guy. And then, well, actually, maybe not, because look
Mm.
at what it's
Mm.
led to. Despair always results.
Yeah.
And so there's the lesson. We don't have to experience that ourselves. We can learn from the experiences of others like this, and that's a tough lesson for him to learn. But he would have. He went. If I hadn't achieved that great success early on, maybe this wouldn't have happened. I would have ended up in prison. I would have had a more normal, balanced life. I wouldn't have made the same mistakes I made, which then resulted in me going to prison for 2.5 years, and really, it was really, really a tough experience.
Mm.
Sure, not an easy experience at all to go through for anyone. So there's one example of that.
Mm.
Despair always results. Yeah. So for a while he seemed to be on top of the world. He won 3 Wimbledon titles. He's making money. He's traveling the world. It's all the world's at his feet. But in the end, despair always results. Whether in his case it was prison. In another case, someone might just go, well, I'm now getting old. I'm getting sick. I think Martina Navratilova has got cancer, and so on. In the
Mm.
end, and that's the tough lesson we've all got to learn. When we're willing to learn it, then we can learn this course. For only in this way will I be willing to let it go and allow it to be gone forever. Past can have no rewards. The only value the past can have is that I learn it gave me no rewards that I want to keep. So I've got to let go of everything I valued in the past, essentially. Everything I seem to have achieved, actually none of that means anything. Yeah, not an easy lesson, is it? But that's the all-encompassing teaching that he's teaching it. Saying, look, this is actually really the only way you're ever going to get out of this. There is no other way. Okay, I'm going to number 2 then.
It is not strange that I should still cherish some hope of satisfaction from the world I perceive. In no respect at any time or place has anything but fear and guilt been my reward. How long do I need to realize that it is hardly worth delaying change that might result in a better outcome because of the chance of change in this respect? For one thing is sure, the way I perceive and long have perceived is no foundation on which to base my future hopes and gives no suggestions of success at all. To place my hopes where no hopes lie must make hopeless. Yet the hopelessness is my choice, while I want to seek for hope, there is none. So, there you go. Don't hope because it's hopelessness. You've got one choice.
Yeah, hope, some people say, well, all you've got in this world is hope, but that's part of the illusion. There's
Yeah,
no hope in heaven. You just are what you are. You're not hoping for it, praying that one day things will get better. Yeah, whereas in this world, we go, well, maybe there's a hope there. That'll work. That illusion will work. That'll bring me some peace and some happiness. That'll solve my problems. And he's saying, well, it won't, because the world is a hopeless place. You're not going to find it in the world. You will only find it. The only true hope lies in your own mind, to find your true self and your source. And that starts as a hope, but in the end, it just becomes a reality. It's like, I'm not hoping for it anymore. I just know. It's not that I'd hope for it. I know that it's there and I'm connected to it all the time. And so I'm beyond hope. We must let go of all hope and all desire in order to be free. That's what he's saying. Stop seeking for hope where there is none. Stop looking for hope in the illusions, because there is none. The acceptance of that is liberation. Okay, I accept that this is pointless. It's futile. I'm hoping for hope where there is none. That's just bound to fail. I'm always going to be disappointed, and everything will ultimately turn to despair because I've put my hope where there is no hope. And now suddenly, when I started understanding this, I'm like, oh my God, suddenly someone's actually telling me the truth about this world. That is so helpful.
yeah,
He's not trying to sugarcoat this and say, oh, well, there's hope here and you can do this. And no, he's just telling us, the brutal, it's quite a brutal truth. Not an easy truth at all. But it's the only way out. Okay, there's no hope here, so give it up. If you give up all hope and you place all your faith in truth, then that's your hope. That's the way out. It's the only thing you can really do. But he's got to disillusion us first completely from all of our illusions before we can be saved. And that's what he's doing, these teachings. Okay, carry on that, shall we? Is it not also true?
Is it not also true that I have found some hope apart from this, some glimmering, inconstant, wavering, yet dimly perceived, that hope is warranted on grounds that are not in this world? And yet my hope that these grounds may still exist in this world still prevents me from giving up the hopeless and unrewarding task I have set myself. Can it make sense to hold the fixed belief that there is reason to continue the pursuit of what has always failed on the basis that it will suddenly succeed and bring what it has never brought before? So that last sentence, can it make sense to hold a fixed belief?
Yeah, does that make sense?
That last sentence, that suddenly succeed and bring what it has never brought before.
So he's saying, does it make any sense to continue believing that this is suddenly going to work when it's never worked before?
Right, yeah.
You've only ever experienced failure, all your hopes have turned to despair, and yet the ego tells you, no, but this is not going to work. Suddenly, something in the world's going to work. You're suddenly going to succeed and bring what it has never brought before. And, this is the liar and the deceiver that it is. It's a con man, a con artist that says, believe me, and this time it'll work. And then most people do. We get sucked in and, okay, this will work. And then, of course, we're going to be disappointed again down the line. And then it says, okay, well, that didn't work. We'll try something else. And another thing, and another thing.
I mean, it just depends on your definition of this. Some people might think, oh, well, I've had a good family and now got 2 children, and that's a great success. So they're not going to see it quite as this as hopeless.
Well, but then there's going to be pain in that inevitably. If they're identified with the ego, it's not all going to be roses.
No, but it depends on how you see it. You see.
So, but if they cling to that and they go, okay, well, success lies in form. I've had a family, or I've made money, or I've been successful at some pursuit, like a business or sport, or whatever it is. And this is where my hope lies, then they will be disappointed at some point, because there is no hope in any of those things. And he's saying it's deluded to believe that suddenly you're going to succeed where you've never succeeded before. Just accept that this isn't going to work. And then you're on the right track. Okay, so this is never going to work. I accept that. Now I have real hope. Now I have the hope of actually really succeeding. Because I'm placing my hope in something that is beyond this world. As he said, some inconstant, wavering yet dimly perceived glimmer that hope is warranted on grounds that are not in this world. I'm starting to put my faith in something beyond this world. And that's where my real hope lies. But as long as I think there's hope in the world, I'm going to cling to that. I'm going to try and find some hope where there is no hope, which is completely futile, hopeless, and unrewarding, as he says. And no wonder we get desperate and despairing, and because it's just like, well, we try and we're never going to succeed. What could be more depressing than that? I think we've all had that sense.
Yeah.
If you live long enough, you try and you're like, I'm just not getting anywhere with this. It's not happening. Why not?
Happiness, you mean? Yes, because that's the idea. We all want happiness, and
Yeah,
so
but you see, I think I'm going to get happiness by doing something else. I'm going to be happy when I make money. I'm going to be happy when I have the family. I'm going to be happy when I have the new career. I'm going to be happy when I have my ideal partner. That's how we set it up. I'll be happy when this happens. And then even if we succeed and we get what we desired, it hasn't really made us happy, because it was never the formula for happiness. It was never going to work.
Yeah.
It's saying just give it up. See it for what it is, and be willing to just see the brutal truth of it. Be totally honest with yourself. So of course requires a high degree of honesty. Saying I'm not going to deceive myself anymore, because I have to accept that this just isn't going to work. Ever. I mean, that's quite something. The world is never going to work to bring me happiness. Ever. So why am I bothering? Why am I continuing to try and find happiness in a place that in fact was designed to make me unhappy? That's stupid. There's no point in that. Therefore, my only option becomes, well, get out, leave the world, leave it behind, because it doesn't work. It's never going to make me happy. So, I need to leave this place. And that's what forgiveness is. letting go is. I'm going to let go of my self-concept that keeps me bound to the world, and I'm going to leave this place behind forever and transcend it and go back home to my true home in pure formless awareness of perfect love. And that's where my real hope lies. But until we realize the simple truth that there's no hope in the world, we'll continue to cling to the belief that there's some hope here. And we'll continue to fail and be disappointed, and we'll do that endlessly. We can do that lifetime after lifetime. We're born, there's new hope. Oh, now we look at the world, and the ego is very cunning because it erases everything. So we forget everything. We come into the world with fresh enthusiasm. We go, this is going to work now. And then slowly it grinds us down. And as we get older, it grinds us, and eventually we just go and then when we totally ground down, we're ready to leave, we die. But if we haven't learned the lesson, we come back into another body, and then you have another go at it. And you try again, the same pointless, futile task of trying to make the world work. And this is the cycle of birth and death that we trapped in. And he says it's always failed in the past. It's always failed. So why do you think it's suddenly going to succeed now?
Well, we might end up being like the dinosaurs and just become extinct.
Yeah, but the mind will then just create another, we'll go to another planet somewhere else and another planet in another galaxy or solar system or whatever. It's like that's not the answer. The answer is to free the mind.
Yeah.
To liberate the mind from the prison of being a separate self. Because if you think you are a separate self, then you are bound to incarnate. You must come back in a body somewhere, whether it's on this planet or another planet in human form or another form. It doesn't matter. You're going to come back, and you're going to be bound to this world of pain and suffering and death until you free your mind from the belief that you're a separate self. It's as simple as that. So he says, I'm glad that this belief is now gone from my mind and can no longer obscure what is really there. I will not mistake form for content, for form is only a means for true content with a capital C to reveal itself in this world. That's all it's about. And the frame is only a means to hold the picture so that it can be seen. The frame that hides the picture has no purpose. It cannot be a frame if it is all I see. Without the picture, the frame is without its true function. Its purpose is to show the picture in its best light and not itself. Okay? So what's he saying there?
Well, it's just saying that it's always failed in the past. And just glad that the belief is now gone, no longer obscuring us.
Yeah, and do you understand the analogy about the frame and the picture?
A frame that hides the picture has no purpose.
Yeah. So the frame is the form of this world.
Yeah.
Right. The frame is how this content, true content, which is the essence of love, to reveal itself in this world. And it reveals itself in form, which is the frame. But the most important thing is the picture, not the frame. The form is like the frame. The picture is the content, the true content, which is the essence of love, pure formless awareness, perfect love, which then comes through in the form of the world, which is the frame that frames the love. Right? But without the picture, the frame is without its true function. If you just focus on the frame, you're missing the point, aren't you? It's the picture that's really important. The frame is there to highlight the picture. The purpose is to show the picture in its best light and not itself. A frame that is too overt obscures the picture and doesn't fulfill its true function. There's an image. I don't know where it is now because I probably can't find it, but I found one to illustrate the point. Of like, okay, so there's this really heavy gilded frame, and then there's a small picture inside it, and that frame is not really doing its job. The frame is dominating the picture. So it's not a good design. because the picture's lost in the frame. Whereas a good frame just kind of frames the picture in its best light and shows, so it's often very simple. Just a simple, black frame surrounding a picture can really set it off nicely and just like really highlights the picture. He's using the analogy which we're familiar with in the world to highlight, how it works in spirit. Okay, then he carries on with the analogy. So you want to read that? Number 5, who hangs an empty frame?
Who hangs an empty frame upon a wall and stands before it, deep in reverence, as if a masterpiece were there to see. Yet if I perceive my companions as bodies, I am doing only this. The masterpiece that pure formless awareness of perfect love has set within this frame is all there really is to see. The body holds it for a while without obscuring it in any way. Yet what pure formless awareness of perfect love extends needs no frame, for it supports and frames within itself what it extends. It offers me its masterpiece to see, and would I rather see the frame instead of this, and not see the picture at all?
Okay.
Just as you were saying, just as you were saying about the frame, it's the masterpiece is within that frame. So it's giving the analogy of that with the people in bodies, and the masterpiece is our pure formless awareness of perfect love, which is set within this body, and that is all there is really to see. So the body holds this pure formless awareness, but can be obscured. So it doesn't actually, the pure formless awareness doesn't hold a frame, it supports. It offers me its masterpiece to see. So it's just asking us, would we rather just see this body or this frame instead of this masterpiece?
Yeah. So the body and the world is the frame, and we focus on the frame, which is really just designed to highlight the picture, which is our true self that shines through the frame. So that shines through the body and it shines through the world if we so perceive it, if we choose to perceive that. If you focus on the frame, like most people do, then you're missing the picture, you're missing the whole point. So it's a really good analogy. Imagine you go to an art gallery and you focus on the frames. It's like, well, you're kind of missing the whole point. You're missing the picture, the art is there, and you're just seeing the frame. It's a bit like that. That's what we're doing in the world. By focusing on the body and form, we're missing the point. A really good analogy, actually, to understand it. Okay, and then he carries on, number 6. So this one needs a bit of translation. Let's read. I'll read the original, you read the alternative. So Holy Spirit is the frame God set around the parts of him that you would see as separate.
Remembrance of perfect love is the frame pure formless awareness of perfect love sets around the part of itself that I want to perceive as separate.
Yet its frame is joined to its creator, one with him and with his masterpiece.
Yet its frame is joined to its framer, one with it and its masterpiece.
This is its purpose, and you do not make the frame into the picture when you choose to see it in its place.
This is its purpose, and I do not make the frame into the picture when I choose to perceive the frame in its place.
The frame that God has given it, but serves his purpose, not yours, apart from his.
The frame that pure formless awareness of perfect love has given the picture only serves its purpose and not mine apart from this purpose.
It is your separate purpose that obscures the picture and cherishes the frame instead of it.
It is my separate purpose that obscures the picture and cherishes the frame instead of it.
Yet God has set his masterpiece within a frame that will endure forever, when yours is crumbled into dust.
Yet pure formless awareness of perfect love has set its masterpiece within a frame that will endure forever, when mine has crumbled into dust.
But think you not the picture is destroyed in any way.
But I will not think the picture is destroyed in any way.
What God creates is safe from all corruption, unchanged, and perfect in eternity.
And pure formless awareness of perfect love extends. It's safe from all corruption, unchanged, and perfect in eternity. From the top, the remembrance of perfect love is the frame of pure formless awareness of perfect love, sets around the part of itself that I want to perceive as separate, yet its frame is joined to its framer, one with it and its masterpiece. This is its purpose, and I do not make the frame into the picture when I choose to perceive the frame in its place. The frame that pure formless awareness of perfect love has given the picture only serves its purpose and not mine apart from this purpose. It is my separate purpose that obscures the picture and cherishes the frame instead of it. Yet pure formless awareness of perfect love has set its masterpiece within a frame that will endure forever, when mine has crumbled into dust. But I will not think the picture is destroyed in any way. What pure formless awareness of perfect love extends is safe from all corruption, unchanged, and eternally perfect. It's just going into the frame of the remembrance of perfect love, just giving the frame as an analogy of the body. And the frame is joined to its framer, so we're all just one. And in it is the masterpiece, and the picture, the masterpiece can never be destroyed. It extends safe from all corruption, unchanged, and it's eternally perfect. So
Yeah, so it's saying it's eternal and it's unchanging, and it doesn't really matter what happens to the frame, the body, anything in this world. So within a frame that will endure forever when mine is crumbled into dust. So that frame then is becomes part of the eternal. You know, the pure formless awareness of perfect love is actually in an eternal frame, an eternal reality that cannot be really touched by anything in this world. It's fixed, it's never going to change. And the frames that we've created in the body, all the forms of the world, all of that stuff is going to crumble into dust and fade away. But this pure awareness of perfect love, which is the masterpiece, which is our true self, its masterpiece. So that's really what he's talking about, the true self. It's in a frame that will endure forever when mine is crumbled into dust. So when my self-concept, my ego and all of its works has crumbled, then this true self will remain eternally. That's what he's saying. Okay?
Mhm.
Happy. Let's go on to number 7 there. Accept God's frame instead of yours, and you will see the masterpiece.
If I accept perfect love's frame instead of mine, I will see the masterpiece.
Look at its loveliness and understand the mind that thought it, not in flesh and bones, but in a frame as lovely as itself.
I will look at its loveliness and understand the mind that thought it, not in flesh and bones, but in a frame as lovely as itself.
Its holiness lights up the sinlessness the frame of darkness hides, and casts a veil of light across the picture's face, which but reflects the light that shines from it to its creator.
Pure formless awareness eliminates the innocence the frame of limited awareness hides and reveals pure formless awareness in the picture's identity, which only reflects the pure formless awareness that shines from it to its framer.
Yeah, it illuminates, not illuminates. So it illuminates the innocence the frame of limited awareness hides. Think not this face was ever darkened, because you saw it in a frame of death.
I will not think this identity was ever limited, because I saw it in a frame of death.
God kept it safe that you might look on it and see the holiness that He has given it.
Pure formless awareness of perfect love kept it safe so that I may perceive the picture in the light of its pure formless awareness.
Okay, from the top.
If I accept perfect love's frame instead of mine, I will see the masterpiece. I will look at its loveliness and understand the mind that thought it, not in flesh and bones, but in a frame as lovely as itself. Its pure formless awareness illuminates the innocence the frame of limited awareness hides and reveals pure formless awareness in the picture's identity, which only reflects the pure formless awareness that shines from it to its framer. It will not think this identity was ever limited, because it saw it in a frame of death.
Because I saw it. So I will not think this identity is ever limited, because I saw it in a frame of death.
Right. Pure formless awareness of perfect love kept it safe so that I may perceive the picture in the light of its pure formless awareness.
Okay, so what is he saying there?
It's just saying once we've accepted perfect love's frame instead of our own, and that's when we'll see the masterpiece in its loveliness, and we'll be in the frame together. We're the frame and the framer. The pure formless awareness illuminates all this innocence away from the limited awareness that's hiding it, and then we can reveal our true pure formless awareness.
Yeah, and so the frame really becomes the true self that points us directly to the pure awareness, pure formless awareness that shines through. So that true self is still a concept. It's a construct of the mind. It has no place in heaven, but it's the frame for pure formless awareness in this world. So we have a look at that in the diagram. Let's see if we have this up here. Tell you what, let's just find it. So you go to here, course manual, there you go. Bring up the, I think it's 17, right? Not quite. Holy Trinity, there we go. So let's reset it. What he's talking about here, the frame that God's created is for the pure formless awareness of perfect love is the true self of Christ. That now frames that awareness into a self that we can actually live in this world. We can perceive from that true self. We can have true perception or Christ's vision. We can operate functionally in our true meaning and true purpose in this world, with the true self as the frame for this pure formless awareness of perfect love. That, you know, at this level 1, it has no frame. There is no form to it. It just is what it is, right? There's no frame in heaven. Nothing needs to be framed. It's just pure awareness. But in this world, we need a frame for it because it's beyond any form. So how does it now get framed? Well, it gets framed through the true self, and the Holy Spirit, with remembrance of perfect love, is the ability for that self to perceive the world of illusion correctly. So bringing in the idea of the Holy Trinity here as the frame of reference for this pure awareness to come into the world and be understood and experienced is really, useful. All right, you want to carry on, Elaine? We've got about 3, 8, 9, 10, 11. We've got 4 paragraphs to go.
I must admit I'm getting tired now. Can I just do one more and then I'll let it, well, hopefully John will turn up. I'm just, yeah, I'm getting tired now.
I'm not sure he'll turn up at this stage. It's quite late, but anyway, we'll see. Okay, see how you go. Within the darkness, see the Savior from the dark and understand your brother as his Father's mind shows him to you.
Within negative awareness, I must perceive my awakeness from limitation and understand my companions as pure formless awareness of perfect love reveals them to me.
He will step forth from darkness as you look on him, and you will see the dark no more.
They will step forth from limited awareness as I perceive them correctly, and I will not perceive their limitations anymore.
The darkness touched him not, nor you who brought him forth for you to look upon.
Limited awareness did not touch them, nor I who attracted them for me to perceive correctly.
Yeah, that's what he's saying there. Nor you who brought him forth for you to look upon. His sinlessness but pictures yours.
Their innocence reveals mine.
His gentleness becomes your strength, and both will gladly look within and see the holiness that must be there because of what you looked upon in him.
Their gentleness becomes more strength, and both of us will gladly look within and perceive pure formless awareness that must be there because of what I perceive in them.
He is the frame in which your holiness is set, and what God gave him must be given you.
They are the frame in which my pure formless awareness is set, and what pure formless awareness of perfect love gave them must be given to me.
However much he overlooks the masterpiece in him and sees only a frame of darkness, it is still your only function to behold in him what he sees not.
However much they overlook the masterpiece in them and see only a frame of limited awareness, it is still my only function to perceive in them what they do not perceive.
And in this seeing is the vision shared that looks on Christ instead of seeing death.
And this vision that perceives my true self instead of death is shared in this perception. And yeah, within negative awareness, I must perceive my awakeness from negative awareness and understand my companions as pure formless awareness of perfect love reveals them to me. They will step forth from negative awareness as I perceive them correctly, and I will not perceive their limitations anymore. Negative awareness did not touch them, nor I, who attracted them to me to perceive correctly. Their innocence reveals mine. Their gentleness becomes my strength, and both of us will gladly look within and perceive the pure formless awareness. They must be there because of what I perceive in them. They are the frame. They are the frame in which my pure formless awareness is set, and what my pure formless awareness of perfect love gave them must be given to me. However much they overlook the masterpiece in them and see only a frame of negative awareness, it is still only my function to perceive in them what they do not perceive. And the vision that perceives my true self instead of death is shared in this perception. So it's just saying within our negative awareness, we must perceive our awakeness from negative awareness and understand that the companions are pure formless awareness of perfect love, just like me.
Yeah, so this awareness shines through them. The image that I mentioned earlier of people just with the light shining through them. So whatever they're doing, whatever they're up to, whatever their behavior might be, that awareness is still there. It's a fundamental awareness that cannot be destroyed. So even if they're behaving unconsciously in difficult ways, some people, people can be very difficult, unkind. Your job is still to see that underlying awareness is still there, as hard as that may be. And this is okay, so they're showing you something completely opposite, and yet you must still see this light, this awareness in them. As he says, this is your only job, still your only function, to behold in him what he sees not. Okay, so he's unaware of the truth. He's consumed with negative awareness, identified with negative awareness, doesn't know the truth. But you do. You can perceive the truth in the person, even if they don't. In fact, that is your only job in the situation, is to perceive the truth in them. When they don't understand it themselves, when they are identified with the ego and they're manifesting the ego, you must still see the truth. And that's forgiveness. As hard as that may be, that's what we got to do.
That's the test.
That's what he's saying. It's still there. But if you deny it and you see only the darkness, then you believe in the darkness, in the negative awareness. And then you're caught up in that. That's what your mind now believes. That's what it makes real. And there's no hope in that. You're going to perceive negative awareness. You're going to perceive it in yourself. You're going to perceive it everywhere. And it's very hopeless. It's like the world is just this dark, negative place. And that's all I'm seeing. Very, very disappointing, frustrating, unhappy reality that you create for yourself. Or you say, I refuse to perceive the negative awareness, even if they're manifesting it. I choose to see only the truth in myself and in everyone, and whatever they do, that truth is still there, and I'll still hold to that, because that is the truth, and it's what I can choose to do, even though it completely flies in the face of the world and what the world shows you, which is why you can't listen to the world, why you can't see the normal picture, the frame of all the negative awareness and focus on that. You can't allow yourself to perceive that, because it's going to confuse and delude and ultimately make you very unhappy and kill you. Instead, see the vision that perceives my true self instead of death. Looks on Christ instead of death. This is the true picture. And remember, the Christ, as we've explained it, is actually the frame for pure formless awareness. So you see pure formless awareness beautifully and lightly framed in the true self. So think of Jesus's life or the Buddha's life. Those lives were a wonderful frame for the awareness that came through those lives. And there was no emphasis on the frame. The person, the identity wasn't really emphasized at all. In fact, that was de-emphasized, and the awareness that shone through was emphasized. That's the picture. This transcendent, pure formless awareness was what shone through those frames. You think of other people. Let's take someone who was totally opposite, say Hitler or Donald Trump or something. The emphasis is on the form, on the frame, on the person, the personal identity, and what the person is going to accomplish and do, rather than the awareness that shines through. You see the difference. And that's the difference that he's trying to explain in the analogy of the frame, focusing on the frame or focusing on the picture that the picture frames, which is this higher awareness, the true awareness, pure formless awareness, perfect love, as we call it, which is just framed by our true self. So beautiful, lovely. So he's saying, yeah, you can live, you still have a true self, you still have perception, but it's just a frame for the pure awareness that shines through. And don't let the frame obscure it. The frame is just designed to highlight, the beauty of the picture. Lovely analogy, really.
Yes.
All right. So any other questions, Elaine? Are you going to depart now?
Yes, I think I'll read the rest of it tomorrow in the morning. I'll read the rest of it when my mind's sort of not, because I'm yawning away there. Excuse me.
Yeah. Okay. Well, thanks for
John.
joining. And,
no, thank you. Yeah, no, it's all very helpful. Thank you very much.
Yeah, and thanks for your payment. I saw that today, so appreciate that. And I'll see you next week sometime. Should we do Tuesday next week? Maybe I'm gonna Kim's getting back, so I'll ask her when she can do a session, and let's do it then. And nice to see her again.
Yeah, of course.
Are you free any evening next week?
More or less, yes. Yeah, more or less.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I'll let you know early next week.
Yeah, that's great. Okie doke.
All right.
Okay. Good night.
Night.
Namaste.
Namaste. Bye. Okay, so onward we go into paragraph 9 of this. How could the Lord of Heaven not be glad if you appreciate his masterpiece? How could the source of the state of pure formless awareness not be glad if I appreciate its masterpiece? What could he do but offer thanks to you who love his son as he does? What could it do but offer thanks to me who love its extension as it does? Will he not make known to you his love if you but share his praise of what he loves? Will it not make known to me its love if I just share its praise of what it loves? God cherishes creation as the perfect Father that he is. Pure formless awareness of perfect love cherishes its extension as the perfect source that it is. Makes sense? God cherishes creation as the perfect Father that he is. Cherishes its extension as the perfect source that it is. Yeah, and so his joy is made complete when any part of him joins in his praise to share his joy. So His joy is made complete. His joy is completed. Or any part of it joins in its praise to share its joy. This brother is His perfect gift to you. Every companion is its perfect gift to me. And He is glad and thankful when you thank His perfect Son for being what He is. He is glad and thankful when I thank everyone as His perfect extension for being what they really are. And all His thanks and gladness shine on you who would complete His joy along with Him. And all His thanks and gladness shine on me who complete its joy. And thus is yours completed, and so is mine completed. So mine is completed. And one ray of darkness can be seen for those who will to make their Father's happiness complete, and theirs along with His. But one part of negative awareness, you better just say no part of negative awareness can be perceived by those who aim to make their source's happiness and their own complete. One ray of darkness can be seen by those who will to make their Father's happiness complete and theirs along with His. The gratitude of God Himself is freely offered to everyone who shares His purpose. Gratitude of perfect love itself is freely offered to everyone who shares its purpose. It is not His will to be alone. It is not its will to be alone, and neither is it yours, neither is it mine. So I read it from the top in the alternative. How could the source of the state of pure formless awareness not be glad? Say when I appreciate its masterpiece. What could it do but offer thanks to me who love its extension as it does? Would it not make known to me its love if I just share its praise of what it loves? The formless awareness of perfect love cherishes its extension as the perfect source that it is. And so its joy is completed when each part of it joins in its praise to share its joy. Every companion is its perfect gift to me. Every person counter is its perfect gift to me. And it is glad and thankful when I thank everyone as its perfect extension for being what they really are. And all its thanks and gladness shine on me who complete its joy. So extend to me instead of shine on me. And so mine is completed. No part of negative awareness can be perceived by those who aim to make their source's happiness sources and their own happiness complete. The gratitude of perfect love itself is freely offered to everyone who shares its purpose. It is not its will to be alone, and neither is it mine. What's he saying here? That we have this ability to find the joy, find love in our relationship with others. Like everyone is this perfect extension for being what they really are. So as we perceive them correctly as what they really are, so we perceive ourselves correctly, truly. When we perceive ourselves correctly, then we know who we are and we can escape from the prison of the separate self, which is this world. And then gratitude of perfect love will be given to us. This presence is ultimately designed to just bring about our happiness. We can only find that by perceiving it in everyone. It can't just be in us or in one person. It's everywhere. It's in everyone. It's universal. And this is what forgiveness reveals. And then he says, forgive your brother. You cannot separate yourself from him nor from his father. So when I let go of any negativity I feel towards my companions, I cannot separate myself from them or from their source. You need no forgiveness, for the holy pure have never sinned. I need no release, for the holy pure have never sinned. Said the holy innocent. Therefore, give then what he has given you, that you may see his Son as one, and thank his Father as he thanks you. Therefore, I give what it has given me, so that I may perceive its extension as one, and thank its source as it thanks me. I'll believe that all his praise is given not to you. Or should I doubt that all his praise is given to me? What you give is his, and giving it you learn to understand his gift to you. What I give is its, and giving it I learn to understand its gift to me. And give the Holy Spirit what he offers unto the Father and the Son alike. And I give the remembrance of perfect love what it offers to my source and its extension. So both my source and its extension. Nothing has power over you except his will and yours, which but extends his will. Nothing has power over me except its awareness and mine, which only extends its awareness. As for this you are created, and your brother with you, and at one with you. As for this I am extended, along with my companions who are one with me. So really the message is, in our forgiveness of others, when we let go of our perception someone's done wrong, that they're guilty, and we let go of our own belief in that, and we find the truth in this oneness. All right, so last paragraph. You and your brother are the same, as God himself is one and not divided in his will. I and my companions are the same, as pure formless awareness of perfect love itself is one and not divided in its awareness. And you must have one purpose, since he gave the same to both of you. And put a so in it. So I must have one purpose, since it gave the same purpose to both of us. Its awareness is brought together as we join our awareness, so that I am made complete by offering completion to my companions. See not in him the sinfulness he sees, but give him honor that you may esteem yourself and him. I'll not perceive in them the sinfulness they perceive. But honor them so that I may respect them and myself. To you and your brothers given the power of salvation, escape from darkness into light, be yours to share, that you may see as one what never has been separate, nor apart from all God's love is given equally. Power of awakening is given to me and my companions, so that escape from negative awareness into true awareness is mine to share. And I may perceive as one what never has been separate. What has never been separate, nor apart from all the love of pure formless. From all the love what's he saying there? We're all the same, we have one awareness. It's given to all of us. So when I escape from this negative awareness, then I take all my companions with me. Companions have the same power as I do to awaken from this awareness to true awareness, to share. I may perceive as one what has never been separate, nor apart from all the love pure formless awareness is given equally to all its extensions. So we're all one, we can perceive that and awaken together. Very simple message. Okay, so just to the personalized summary, my belief that this world of form can offer me any satisfaction is clearly false, because this belief has always failed to live up to my hopes that it will bring me happiness one day. Therefore, I choose to let this belief go and fully embrace the truth that only pure formless awareness and perfect love can give me anything of real value, which I embrace to accept. So key point is that I must learn to accept this simple truth that only pure formless awareness of perfect love is true, is real, and can give me anything of any real value in order to be able to let go of the world. A true identity in it is like a picture set within a frame of the body and all the experience that it gives me in this world. I should never allow the frame to obscure the picture of my true self. Should never allow the frame to obscure the picture of my true self. I will let my true self shine through this frame to bless others and myself in the process. Yeah, interesting. So maybe I'm just going to change this, but my true identity is like a picture set within the frame of the body and all experiences it gives me in this world. My change this going to my pure formless awareness. Perfect love is like a picture set within a frame of the body and all the experience it gives me in this world. I should never allow frame to obscure the picture of my true awareness. Rather let my my true awareness shine through the frame of my true self to bless others and myself in the process. Let's read again from the top. This paragraph, my pure forms, most perfect love is like a picture set within the frame of the body and all the experiences it gives me in this world. But I should never allow the frame to obscure the picture of my pure formless awareness, but rather let my true awareness shine through the frame of my true self to bless others and myself in the process. I can only appreciate the real value in life by perceiving other people as they truly are. Therefore, by letting go of my misperceptions of sin, guilt, and condemnation towards others and perceiving their true self, I will perceive the self in me as well and receive its blessings with happiness and joy gratefully. As I perceive others, so I perceive myself. I can see this frame of the true self in everyone. It's what is the essence of the picture. The picture needs the frame of the true self to shine through in this world. When we focus on the pure awareness framed by the true self, then we receive blessings with happiness and joy gratefully. Through this process of letting go, I'll reunite my seemingly separate awareness with their awareness and pure formless awareness, perfect love as our shared source, which is my awakening from the extremely limited awareness of my form, identity, or ego. So really quite simple, as I see this in others, I see it in myself, I accept it in myself, and I'm released accordingly from my dreams of being a separate self and focusing on the frame of the picture, which is false, frame that's body and worldly experiences, anything I value here, and just about focusing on the truth that is always there, that shines through. So the illusory nature, this is the key message, just to sum it all up. The illusory nature of worldly satisfactions pales into insignificance beside the value of recognizing one's true identity beyond the body and all the forms of this world. So my instead of one's true identity. My true identity beyond the body, all the forms of this world, by releasing my misperceptions, by letting go of my misperceptions and connecting pure formless awareness of perfect love. Accepting, sorry, so pure formless awareness of perfect love. As the real picture can recognize this frame of and my companions. And others awaken from the limitations of my separate self and experience authentic happiness. Okay, I'll read that again. So illusory nature, worldly satisfactions pales into insignificance beside the value, recognizing my true identity beyond the body and all the forms of this world. By letting go of my misperception and accepting pure forms of perfect love as the real picture of me, I can recognize my true self as its frame in myself and others. Breaking from the limitations of my separate self and experience authentic happiness along with them. It's really a message that we can free ourselves if we accept our true identity, our pure awareness, which is expressed in the true self, framed in the true self as the true self in this world. And I awaken from the limitations of my separate self in this way and experience authentic happiness along with them. Okay, so I think that brings us to the end. I hope you enjoyed that. Thank you to Elaine who joined, made the session possible. Thank you to you who listened to the live stream or the recording. Appreciate you staying till the end. Hope you enjoyed that. If you did, then a couple of things you can do. Why not hit the subscribe button and subscribe to the channel. I'm notified whenever I go live, which at the moment is once a week. But lots of interesting stuff happening. I'm starting a couple of podcasts in the next month or so. So I'll notify you on this channel. They'll be on other channels. And Secondly, you can go to lifebuild.com. You can see that spelling in the background, just life build, as you see it in my my virtual background over there. And type that into your browser, or click the link below in the comments box. If you're looking at this video on YouTube, you'll see it below. Go there and you can sign up to receive some of what I showed you earlier. The daily quote is one every day. There's blog posts on that. There's a daily lesson from A Course in Miracles, along with a short breath break or mini meditation to help you practice the lesson, and notifications and invitations to join these live Zoom sessions. So yeah, why not check it out at lifebuild.com, join, and I will hopefully see you, catch you on the inside of the group or in one of these sessions soon. So thanks again for listening, and namaste, which means the true self in me acknowledges and honors that same true self or Christ in you, and wishing you much peace and love in that self. Hope to see you again. Namaste. Bye for now.